So we just got dropped off at our riprap parking lot, and we're back on trail. So another big day planned. 16.8 miles today. Headed to inside. Once you enter into Shenandoah, they don't call it shelters anymore. They call them huts. So we're headed to a hut, but we're probably gonna tent, I think is a plan, but we'll see how it goes. All these plans are revisable as time passes and miles start to click off. You know, you can adjust these plans, but right now we're shooting for 16.8, headed to a hut. So it'll be a good day. We look forward to it. It's a little cooler this morning, starting in the 40s, and we'll end up in the 70s. And sunshine, no rain in the forecast for the next 2 or 3 days. I think by the end of the week we'll might see some rain. And yeah, I think today's going to be a good day to knock down some miles. So that's our plan. And hope everybody has a great day. And we'll see you on further down the trail. All right. We are 3 miles in, and this is our first crossing of Skyline Drive. I think there's a number of these. We just kind of zigzag back and forth a bit. Beautiful day. Sun rising and getting warmer. It's a little less than 9 o'clock, and we've got 3 miles, so we're making good progress. Again, we're doing 16.8 today. So more that we can get done early before it gets too hot, the better. All right, we'll catch up with you down the trail. Beautiful, massive rock formations. Now I could probably get up there and climb around, but that sounds like fun until it's not. Whoa. Rough walking through these rocks. You got to pay attention, you really do. The moment you look up, you find yourself tripping. Your toe catches on one. It's not good. So whenever you encounter these type of rocks, you're literally just like micro decisions, they call them, where you're just stopping for a second just to make a decision where your next footfall is going to be. Anywho, here we go. All right. Here's our view. Yeah. Pretty good. Not sure what town that is. All right, let's keep on pressing on. All right, just as usual, you go just a little bit further up and you have yet a better view. And that's the case here. I had to stop and, you know, bring you the views and the cool stuff. Well, you know, just like I do, baby. That was a little tribute to you guys who don't know. There's a legendary hiker that's on the trail right now. His name is Craig Maines, called the Hawk, and he's right now in the midst of his 8th through hike. He says someday he'll break the record of all through hikes. I would expect that to be true, but Craig Maines, he's somewhere in Southern Virginia right now, and this is a guy who knocks out 20 miles a day without blinking, you know. I've seen him do 25, 26 miles a day. So I anticipate that he'll pass me at some point, and I would look forward to that. So I love to have the opportunity to meet Craig Maines, Hawk, and just maybe get a picture with him. That'd be awesome. So anyway, that's what he says, to let you guys know who don't watch his videos. And he has videos out there. You can go to Craig Maines, M-A-I-N-S, and you can watch his videos. And he starts every one of his morning monologues. He says, hope everybody has a great, great day, which I say that too. But he says, and I'll bring you the views and the cool stuff, you know, just like I do, baby. He says that every morning, so that's where I picked it up from. I'm not going to steal it from him. I'm not going to use it, but I had to think of it when I was looking at that beautiful shot over the mountains. All right, we'll talk to you down the path. Another crossing of the highway. Heading back in the woods. There we go. Crossing the Skyline Drive again at Brown Gap. Elevation 2595. Up we go. Up this little, well, it's not a little hill. That's a pretty good size hill, actually. Crossing the road again. Skyline Drive. Crossing Skyline Drive again. That makes about 4 times, I think. 3 or 4. All right, we made it to a bit of an overlook here on Skyline Drive. Look at this valley. Wow. Isn't that pretty? That is awesome. Oh, check this out, everybody. We're, of course, still inside the national park here in Shenandoah, and this is an amphitheater. We took a Blue Blaze trail off the side, come out here and check out the amphitheater because they have a water source here. But can you imagine sitting here listening to live music, some kind of concert or something here? They got a big fire pit right there. This will be worth finding the schedule of when they put it in use and coming back and attending. Because look at the view out the back side of the amphitheater. Way awesome. Yeah, this was worth a short walk off the trail to check it out. Very nice, very nice. We'll get some water and maybe have a little bite of lunch and move on up down the trail. All right, everybody, we are passing the Loft Mountain Wayside. So there's a number of these that are kind of sprinkled amongst the trail. Usually a little bit off the trail. We got about a half a mile actually to walk back up to rejoin the trail, but it was worth it, you know, get the experience. I was able to get some chips and a drink and sat down on a picnic table for a minute. So very nice. Just a wayside place to take a break if you're hanging out in the Shenandoah National Park. Pretty nice. Okay, we're headed back to the trail. Look at this rock formation, everybody. Wow. So big, it's kind of hard to take it all in, I'm sure, on the camera. Quite a shelf of rocks. We got a big hill to climb. All right, everybody. I think we've reached what they call the cliffs. Pretty view from here. I think we might have another view here in a little bit. A place called the Ledges. It might be the same view, just a different perspective. All right. Well, we've got I think about 4.3 or something like that to our destination today. So we're gonna get to pushing before it gets way too hot. It's already almost 2 o'clock. We probably spent a little too much time getting comfortable down there beside the wayside. Now I got my hat turned backwards, which means I'm serious. I'm really serious about getting to where I'm going. It provides some extra aerodynamics. So 4.3 to the shelter. What's this hut called? Pine something? Pinefield Hut. Could be our home for the evening. We'll see. All right, so now we're up on the area they're calling the Ledges.
Yes, they do. It'd be nice if the grills were open. I know. I was looking forward to it.
Beautiful. Zoom in on that valley down there. Very nice. Very nice. This is the Ledges. Okay, again, right at 4 miles to complete the day. Big long day. But it's been real pretty. All right, see y'all down the trail. What a beautiful water source. Very nice. So this is pretty. You got these yellow flowers just lining the side of the trail all the way down through here. It's pretty. I don't know what they are either, so somebody might can tell me. Some kind of wildflower. Might just be a weed. I don't know. But it's a pretty weed if it is a weed. Check Check this view out, just kind of along the side of the downhill. And this is the trail. Not too bad. A little rocky, a little loose. You know, you gotta be careful where you step. But overall, not too bad. I'm gonna move over in the grass. There in the distance, you'll see Skyline Drive. Okay. All right, we'll move on. All right, everybody, we've made it to Ivy Creek Overlook. What a beautiful view. Right off of the Parkway. Or I guess it's not Parkway, Skyline Drive. I always get them confused. Kind of the same but different. Real pretty. We got 1.6 miles left to go. So we're going to buckle down. Press on. All right, folks. It's our first glimpse at the Pine Field Hut. Of course, this is the water source that supports the hut occupants. Pretty good. Way up the hill is the privy. Oh, I'd call that the old poop penalty. If you need to go poop, that's a penalty. Climbing that hill. Okay, let's check it out. First of all, what do we notice a little differently here versus other shelters in Virginia? Very solid construction, made of rock. You got a double-decker space. Probably sleeps as many as 6 on a really cold night. Then you got the upper deck. Probably put another 3 up there. So that's nice. I really like this fire pit, and I'll tell you why. You build a fire here and it's got this wall behind the fire which will push the heat back towards the occupants of the shelter, probably providing some heat, so that's pretty good. Haven't ever seen that before. And of course you have this really well built picnic table. Solid. I'd give it probably a 7 or 8. So overall, pretty good location, I think. I probably see a place for hanging bear bags, and this box right here is where you put your food in, a bare box. But honestly, I'm not seeing a ton of flat space. So might be, well, I guess what I'm trying to tell you is this could be our home for the evening.
Pine Field Palace.
Yes, the Pine Field Palace. All right, check back with you later.